Justin Frandson here with Dr. Rob DeMartino, Superior Health Solutions, and Beyond Functional Medicine. He goes beyond every day in his practice in Las Vegas. That's actually Henderson, Nevada, which is just adjacent to Las Vegas, Nevada. He has a thriving practice. Now, Dr. DeMartino sees patients that have lots of different challenges. Everything from Hashimoto's to chronic fatigue, all the major health challenges. He'll get their energy systems just boosting up so their performance just becomes innate, and they can take their levels, their energy levels, and get their health and vitality back on track in a quick amount of time. And we're here at the Quantum Neurology Homecoming in Los Angeles, California, and so he's one of the speakers here as well as a quantum neurologist and then a doctor of chiropractic. And so he was the speaker, actually quantum neurologist of the year last year. And he has tremendous skills and game. And so I want to turn it over to you. Dr. Rob, please tell us more about your business and what you do with Beyond Functional Medicine.
So, this all started for me really as a game that I started to play, truthfully, for my mom. Because when I was actually in graduate school, my mom flew out to Iowa where I was and sat me down and said, hey, listen, I have some bad news. I just got diagnosed with leukemia. And, it was a shock. It was kind of a gut kick. And, to go even further on beyond that, when I was 10 years old, my 17-year-old sister passed away from cancer. So we were no stranger to this. We were no stranger to the diagnoses. And at that point, I was kind of determined to get her straightened out. And we got her with the best doctors, and we got her under the best care. And the type of leukemia that she has about an 8-year, shelf life of where there's an 8-year life expectancy. And, I'm sorry to say that even with all of those things, she wasn't going to make 8 years. And I was going to seminar after seminar after seminar, and luckily my wife and his family is very understanding, letting me go travel all over the world. And I was going to chiropractic seminars, and I was going to functional medicine seminars, and I was going to dentistry seminars, and I was going to medical doctor seminars. I was going to anybody who was doing something different, because we were in that box. And even though we were in the bigger box, the box outside of the box that's still pretty normal of what you can do, we were still kind of with inside that box. And it finally push came to shove. DeMartino, so we're Italian. So my mom didn't want me treating her because of Italian guilt. She was like, if I die, I don't want you to be sad about it. I don't want you to feel responsible. And I finally blankly told her, hey, look, Mommy, here's the deal. I'm of the type of personality that there's something I could have done about it and I didn't. That's going to be a heck of a lot harder for me to live on with. So, we changed the rules, we changed the game. She came kind of completely under, and we just started working on forgetting about there was this cancer, forgetting about there was this leukemia, just building that system up. And what happened was when you started supporting the body in all of these different ways like we do, and we do now, wonderful things started happening. My mom just hit year 17, she's pretty much completely in remission. She lives her normal life. She's got some average fatigue here and there, but she just retired of her own volition.
Awesome.
She's doing great. And through that whole process, like everything I did was with her in mind. But hey, this patient would really get better with that. That patient would get better with that. And why did this work? And how does this play? And we just kind of figured out this system of which you can really take human performance to some pretty elite levels. And the same concept that makes this machine compromise, that if you put the opposite concept in, will make this machine heal. It doesn't matter how much of a deficit somebody is in health, it'll make them heal and get back to that even point. Now, if you take somebody who's already at that even point and you put those same concepts in, how far beyond can you take that? How far can you take beyond performance? So it's really just this very basic scientific idea, but we're trying to meld all those sciences together. And while using some really complex scientific ideas and some really complex treatment technologies to do it, there's this very simple message of it's just all about building the energy systems inside of our body. And if we can do that in a multitude of layers, that's where the cool stuff starts happening.
Awesome. So you'll see him in the office, but more importantly, I think in a lot of ways, you're going to see his system there. And he has his system that he has all these different tools that he uses, and people just go in, they go through the system, and you start to see unbelievable results.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to going out and seeing it, so how I can boost my energy and build that vitality up. And I know your system from, I mean, all the doctors here that have been in practice forever, you know, they're going and raving about his system and what he's doing. They're raving about it, going, everybody has to go see it. So, I mean, it's unbelievable. And Dr. Pascal goes, no, like, you have to go see it. He's got like 50 medals under his belt.
Yeah,
and he's going,
right.
No, you have to go see him.
Well, you know, and that was the thing. Again, I did all of this with mom in mind, and then it expanded out to what I was doing clinically in practice for my patients. And then this whole other layer comes in of all these doctors calling me up and saying, hey, what are you doing? Like, how are you doing this and doing this so systemized with these ideas? And, you know, me being me, I'm just like, well, why don't you come in, hang out, like, see what we're doing? And, you know, but then they had more involved questions, and it became more of like, okay, well, let me, you know, email me, and then we'll talk about it. And then it finally came down to, I was getting so much interest in this, and I never had any intention of this. It's like, well, what if we put together a program? And like, I literally will show you step by step exactly what I do. The thousands of hours I've spent, the hundreds of thousands of dollars I've spent to put all of this together and learn and make mistakes and then retool, and constantly the evolution and changing of this, because it always gets bigger and better. It's just like the nature. And, you know, as I put that all together, and I said, you know, would you guys be interested in this? And they said, yeah. And they said, well, why would you give this away? You know, like, you have the keys to the kingdom. You know, you've got 80% reversal rates of Hashimoto's. Why would you teach us how to do this? Because at the end of the day, this is why we all do it, because we just want people to get better. And
Right.
I can't take care of everybody. I can't take care of everybody in the world, and I can't even take care of everybody who's sick in my town. You just have enough hours in the day, and you never know whose mom is going to walk into somebody else's office, and I want that doctor to be able to have those tools to save that family the same way I put the tools together to save mine. So I'm happy to show it. I'm happy to give it. We're all in this together, and we just all want to get patients better and people better and beyond. I mean, that's the goal, right? So that's why I didn't mind it to put it together, and it's been just as rewarding working with the doctors as it's been working with the patients on a day-to-day basis.
So beyond functional medicine, the doctor is training the doctors, his system, and taking him to a whole nother level. So this is for all the doctors out there for sure, this is a system that you're going to want to employ and look at and see the different steps to unraveling these challenges that the body presents. Now, you know, he's proven to have amazing track record. The doctors here, all the quantum neurologists have been through it, rave about it. And so this is a system where there's not too many out there. It's like, how do you train the doctors? You know, they have to get CEUs and stuff, or continuing education, you know, credits, and where do you go to really learn? But how do you learn systems and employ it? And yours is one of the most sought after ones right now out there in the market.
Yeah. It's, you know, we've been fortunate and you know, to take a lot of information and to put it into this chunk that the goal is after that module weekend, you know, we expand upon that in the additional modules. But after that module weekend, my goal is that Monday is different for that doctor. That this is something that, okay, come Monday in my office, I'm going to have tools, I'm going to have knowledge, but it's not going to take me a year to put that into place. Monday will be different, and Monday we're going to be able to start getting results with patients, and it's going to really change the way that we look at everything, because it's the concept, and once you get the bigness of that concept, then everything else kind of falls into place. So it's how do you make that be so changeable so quickly? That was the challenge, and I'm really happy to say that it worked out well.
So no matter the size of a clinic,
Yeah.
practice, you can adapt.
Yeah, no, totally.
The systems flow.
We have a doctor who's seeing over 400 visits a week. I've got a doctor working out of one room. You know, so and you just adapt it for what you want, and that's the thing, because you're just using these concepts of healing.
Now, is it specifically for chiropractors or
No.
PTs, MDs? What's your
You know, it's come one, come all, you know, type of thing. I'm not going to exclude anybody by title. You know, obviously there'll be some level of needing of diagnoses in order to go through this, and obviously to order some lab tests and stuff like that. But we've trained chiropractors, we've changed medicals offices, we've had the integrated offices come in. You know, I'm open to changing anybody, because if there's somebody out there with that kind of brain and that kind of heart where they're looking to help these kinds of patients, trust me, I know when you see these really complicated patients that there is no complicated solution out there that they can find. I mean, they're searching and searching and searching. So we want you guys to have access to doctors like this. So if we have a doctor whose heart's in the right place, they really want to do this, I mean, we'll show them how to take it and run with it.
Awesome. Now, going back to quantum neurology, because we're here at the homecoming,
right? Yeah.
Tell us about how that's really impacted your practice and how you employ your methods.
So, I mean, to start where quantum neurology means to me, you know, I had this, when I had this epiphany with my mom, like I had to change the game. I had this really successful straight chiropractic practice, and it was great, and I still love chiropractic. It's a part of me, and it's an unbelievable methodology of getting somebody better. And I went home to my wife one day and I said, I'm just not happy. She said, why? She said, you know, like, I love practice, it's great, but I need to take care of people who have more complicated things. There's something inside of me that's screaming out that this is what I was here to do. But if I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna need some more impressive vehicles to be able to handle those kinds of things. I can't just, you know, use a simplistic thing to deal with that. So quantum neurology came into my world, and you know, I bought the starter set, I bought the videos, I bought the GRT light, and the first person I ever used it on, I watched the videos, the first person I ever used it on was this little boy who had severe crossed eyes, to the point that when you would bring your finger close to him, his eye would dive so hard in to look at his nose that you wouldn't even see any color anymore, it was just white.
Wow.
And after the third treatment that I saw him, that eye was perfectly normal. And this is a kid who had 4 surgeries previously before that. You know, all of these, they were trying to put him on the autism spectrum, and I'm like, he's not autistic, he just can't see. And once we, you know, that changed, the doctors pronounced him normal neurological function. You know, I called up and said, you know, I'm going through the whole thing right now. Who do I pay? Where do I go? Here's my credit card. Like, I'm in as far as it can be in. And the level of healing and expansion of what the body is capable of through quantum neurology is just unbelievable. And again, from a systemized standpoint. So we have this beautiful system that we can implement, but we also have this elegant concept of how you can get the body to recognize that there's even issues. And once there's that recognition, the healing just exponentially goes faster. I mean, for any doctors out there, I mean, quantum neurology is a no-brainer. It's easy to use. The results are some of the most profound stuff I've ever seen for the patients alike. If you're dealing with health challenges, especially neurological, you got to find a QN near you and you know, get definitely in a market that's underserved. But you know, quantum neurology for me expanded my practice. It expanded my results, which is always great, but it expanded my brain of what actually is humanly possible when it comes to healing, and that might be the greatest thing I ever got from it.
Definitely. Well, for me, it's a newer concept, and I've been in the business for a long time, and so this is why they're the title sponsor, and they're bringing just a lot of their methods, and you're seeing docs that are training the docs with beyond functional medicine. They're going beyond in their functional medicine, utilizing these techniques and concepts, and so it's just all these amazing practitioners coming together, and that's the beauty of quantum neurology and beyond functional medicine, is integrating all these different components that are the best and elevating your toolbox to the level of healing that you want, and it's going to serve everybody.
It's sharing. You know, it's sharing all that information, it's sharing all the concept. I mean, there are some amazing doctors out there, and there are some amazing healers out there, and they're doing amazing things, but they won't talk to each other. And that's, you know, the unfortunate part of all of that is they all still exist in their own worlds, but who gets caught in the crossfire of all that is the patient or the athlete, or, you know, whoever's trying to get something, you know, trying to get that health back or trying to get to that next level. And when we start sharing, it's one of my favorite things about these groups, and what you're trying to do here is to bring us all together, share all that knowledge, put it in a collective wealth, because when that happens, nobody loses. The doctors don't lose, the treatment technologies don't lose, the patients ultimately win, and that's, again, in my brain, always the most important thing. You serve people on a high level, and everything kind of takes care of itself. And that's the coolest thing about what you guys are doing. That's why I was so on board so quickly, and it's one of my favorite things about quantum neurology. What we've tried so hard to do in Beyond Functional Medicine is bring everybody together so that we all end up where we want.
Definitely. Well, thank you. Well, Dr. Rob DeMartino is one of our sponsors here with Beyond Functional Medicine. So we're so grateful to have you as a speaker and a sponsor. And you guys, you have to check it out. I mean, it's just unbelievable practices. Rave reviews from all the top rock stars in the other room in quantum neurology. Yep. And these guys are just unbelievable. And so we're just so blessed to have you. So thank you for your time.
My pleasure. Love it.
Pleasure. And you guys, stay tuned. You're going to get to see him and talk to him live All right, so stay
Yeah.
tuned. All right, thank you.